Boys Redskins NFL game. And I figured I said it in the video, I figured that's why this ad dropped yesterday, was for the NFL and NBA slate. Of course, the NBA, yesterday's basically their biggest day of the year outside of any finals games. And then, of course, the NFL had a lot of people's sole attention. Whoa, even if Netflix was absolutely terrible.
The Indiana Fever standout recently sat down with Tailfair Tong, a bilingual Chinese content producer, for a conversation that touched on where women's basketball is headed and what changes could benefit the sport moving forward. The discussion, uploaded to YouTube on December 26th, offered insights into Clark's perspective on the game's evolution. Interestingly, the timing of this interview coincided with Nike unveiling their latest advertisement featuring Clark. The commercial aired during the third quarter of the Cowboys-Redskins matchup, strategically positioned during one of professional sports' busiest days. The NBA was celebrating what amounts to their second biggest occasion of the season outside championship contests, while NFL games commanded massive viewer attention.
Terrible. My God, that first broadcast was one of the worst sports broadcasts I've ever seen. It was embarrassing for a standalone holiday event. That second game, the production was a lot better. Drew Brees was so much better in his commentary. So, Indiana Fever superstar Caitlin Clark has already made a massive impact on the growth of women's basketball, has experienced over the last...
Netflix's streaming debut of NFL Action, however, received criticism for technical difficulties during the initial broadcast, though production quality improved notably during the second game, with Drew Brees delivering stronger analysis. Clark has become synonymous with the recent surge in women's basketball popularity. While she's certainly not the sole catalyst, players like Angel Reese and Paige Bueckers deserve recognition as well. Her influence on the sport's expansion, particularly within the WNBA, cannot be overstated. Previous generations featured talented athletes and recognized names, but Clark's worldwide recognition surpasses anything the sport has witnessed before. Her marketability rivals that of elite male basketball stars, representing a significant milestone for the women's game.
Basketball has experienced over the last few years. In fact, she, along with several others, because my God, y'all can't not name somebody else, Angel Reese, Paige Bueckers, please, has been the driving force in this growth, especially within the WNBA. While there have been popular players and well-known names in women's basketball before Clark came on the scene, there was no question her global renown is unprecedented when compared to her peers. Clark's global name value...
Despite this progress, substantial opportunities for growth remain both commercially and culturally. The sport's continued upward trajectory depends heavily on Clark maintaining excellence, both during competition and in her off-court endeavors. During her conversation with Tong, Clark addressed what improvements she envisions for women's basketball. The discussion touched on her childhood experience playing in boys' leagues due to limited options for girls at that time. When asked about desired changes going forward, Clark emphasized expanding access and visibility.
Now is unprecedented when compared to her peers. Clark's global name value holds a lot of weight when compared to some of the biggest men's basketball players. There's no question that Clark in women's basketball as a whole still has a lot of room to grow and evolve, both as a business and in terms of its prominence in sports culture and mainstream sport. There's also no question that Clark continuing to succeed on and off the court will be crucial to the...
She highlighted how increased television coverage, live attendance opportunities, and international tours, including destinations like China, create powerful moments for young athletes. Clark specifically mentioned how witnessing admired players perform in person profoundly impacted her own youth, understanding firsthand how meaningful such experiences prove for today's aspiring female basketball players. The message resonates as straightforward yet accurate, inspiring young girls to pursue basketball while providing them adequate opportunities to participate. Questions arise about accessibility, though youth basketball programs exist even in smaller communities. Rural schools with modest enrollment numbers, sometimes just a few hundred students total with graduating classes barely exceeding 30 individuals, still field competitive girls teams with talented rosters featuring from a second Embarrasses, all district performers.
Continuing to succeed on and off the court will be crucial to the sport reaching its potential. So, Clark interviewed with a Chinese bilingual content creator, Tailfair Tong. Tailfair Tong? Okay. Which was published on their YouTube channel on December the 26th. At one point in their discussion, when Clark was asked about what she wants to see for the future of women's basketball to be improved in the future, she said, "Let's go over to the actual."
Clark's point stands valid regarding the importance of encouraging young female athletes to engage with the sport. This connects directly to her value within the WNBA ecosystem, as she possesses the star power to attract audiences and drive interest. Nike's advertisement featuring Clark generated significant buzz after years of seemingly lackluster commercials from the brand. Many observers questioned why such a campaign took so long to materialize, though the execution received widespread praise. The spot's central theme, "From Anywhere," references Clark's ability to sink three-point shots from extreme distances across the court.
Actual video.
It's like, as a young girl, you play in boys league because at that time your dad couldn't find a girls league for you.
Yeah.
But right now, things has changed a little bit. So, in the future, what do you want to see, like, or the things for girls basketball to be improved?
Yeah, I think just like more and more opportunities, and I think that's exactly what's happening because there's going to be more and more young girls that love basketball or love another sport and believe that they can.
Social media responses flooded in with enthusiasm. Comments included inquiries about international appearances, acknowledgement of the commercial's quality, and even competitor brand State Farm engaging with the content, a notable occurrence when sponsors interact with rival marketing efforts. Reactions referenced her Iowa roots and her distinctive shooting range, particularly from the logo area of the court. Suggestions emerged about potential collaborations with basketball legends Michael Jordan and Larry Bird, reminiscent of classic advertising from previous decades. Some proposed a Space Jam project featuring Clark, contrasting it with the sequel that failed to capture the original's magic.
Because there's going to be more and more young girls that love basketball or love another sport and believe that they can be really good at it. And I think it kind of starts with the stage that I'm playing on right now. The more we can be on TV and the more people can come and watch us and buy a ticket, or we can go to places like China or wherever it's at globally to help grow the game and allow people to see us play basketball, I think is a really important and powerful thing when you really get to see people you idolize up close. Those were some of the most impactful moments of my childhood, so I know how impactful that can be for young girls today.
Okay. She thinks it's simple, pretty simple.
The commercial accumulated 2.5 million views on Nike's channel alone, not accounting for additional exposure through shares and reposts across various platforms. While the advertisement's quality earned approval, many maintained that the timing seemed inexplicably delayed. The commercial could have feasibly launched during Clark's first month in the league, or even aligned with draft night for maximum impact. The postponement raised questions about marketing strategy, especially considering the immediate success the advertisement achieved once released. Nevertheless, selecting Christmas Day for the premiere did ensure maximum visibility during peak sports viewing periods.
She thinks it's simple, pretty simple, and she's not wrong. It's influencing young girls to get out there and play basketball and give them more opportunities to play basketball. Now, I don't know, is it hard to find opportunities to play basketball as a young girl? I know even here in rural East Texas, we had junior high and high school girls basketball, even in a very small school like.
A recent exclusive conversation with Caitlin Clark has generated significant buzz online after going viral. The basketball star sat down with a Chinese content creator for an unexpected interview that surprised many observers. The interviewer's channel wasn't particularly large, leading to speculation that Clark may have received compensation for the appearance. This choice raised eyebrows since numerous American content creators have been eager to interview her. The Chinese interviewer might hold considerable influence in basketball circles within China, though his overall channel size remains modest.
When it comes to content creating, especially in this women basketball field, Rachel Domina is the biggest one. And for her not to get like this type of interview is shocking to me, but whatever, to each his own. But Caitlin Clark talked about some things in this interview that has made headlines. I have not seen this whole thing in its entirety. We finna watch it here on the channel. We're not finna watch the whole thing. I think it's 20 minutes long here. But yeah, we're not finna watch this.
What made this particularly surprising was Clark's choice not to speak with prominent figures like Rachel Dina, widely considered the leading content creator in women's basketball coverage. Many found it puzzling that Dina hasn't secured such an in-depth conversation while this lesser-known creator did. During the roughly 20-minute discussion, Clark addressed several topics that caught public attention. When asked whether basketball came naturally or presented challenges, she provided thoughtful responses about her journey. Clark acknowledged possessing considerable natural ability but emphasized her constant drive for improvement.
Watch this whole thing, but I definitely wanted to watch this thing here with you guys and check it out, man. So let's jump right into it. Now, I will be stopping this throughout the day.
But we can still talk like a good neighbor.
Good.
He's a Longhorn, so don't hold that against him.
What?
Yeah, I was supposed to wear the Longhorn shirt, then I changed that.
Thank
I think
God.
it's appropriate to do that, right?
Yeah.
说到凯特琳·克拉克，有的人是因为她带领爱荷华大学闯入爱少女，有
Or
The most demanding moments came during tough workouts or disappointing games, times when she pushed herself hardest to grow. She explained that while natural talent played a role, her deep love for the sport motivated continuous development. Asked if she felt destined for success from an early age, Clark reflected on having an innate feel for basketball while maintaining dedication to enhancement. The transition from college to professional basketball happened quickly, but Clark expressed confidence in adapting. Indianapolis and Indiana's passionate basketball culture provided an ideal environment, with the state showing exceptional enthusiasm for the sport compared to many other regions.
闯入爱少女，有
or you're born to be a winner. Oh, what happened?
They killed the lights on
How did they
you.
get
Shoot the lights up.
That's right. I like that.
What is this?
Uh-oh. Sounds like the generator maybe went off.
This beat
Two
is,
shooters out here. We
That's
shoot
right.
up.
let me see if I can get it without the beat. Let's listen.
Myself. So that's probably when I felt the most challenge is when I would, whether it was a hard workout or a bad game or something like that. I feel like you find ways to challenge.
Clark anticipated many exciting seasons ahead. Regarding her evolving game, she noted that professional basketball requires expanding one's skill set significantly. Once competitors understand a player's strengths, improvement across multiple areas becomes essential. Different approaches and techniques must be developed constantly. The limited time frame between college graduation and WNBA competition presented challenges, with only about a month available for focused improvement before games began.
Hard workout or a bad game or something like that. I feel like you find ways to challenge.
Like basketball is a little bit challenging for you, or you're born to be a winner. You never feel like that.
That's a great question. Honestly, I feel like there's obviously a lot of challenging moments throughout my career. I feel like I probably always had a lot of natural skill, but I also wanted to get a lot better at it. So I always found ways to challenge myself. So that's probably when I felt the most challenge is when I would, whether it was a hard workout or a bad game or something like that. I feel like you find ways to challenge yourself within those moments. But I would probably say
Following her rookie season, Clark found excitement in recognizing substantial room for growth. Daily work toward becoming better remained her priority. When discussing her international reach, particularly regarding growing interest in basketball among Chinese fans, Clark expressed enthusiasm. Though she'd never visited China, she knew a trip would happen soon.
would probably say I always kind of had a natural skill for it and just a knack for basketball, but I also really loved it and wanted to get better at it.
Got you. So mostly you are born to be a winner.
I guess we can say that.
之所以我们聊天的地点会停电，是因为我们的对话
You feel like, at the early age, you feel like I can really play at the highest level of basketball.
I don't know.
I would
I'm trying to
probably
see
say
if it's more moments.
And that was the greatest thing for me, going throughout the recruiting process is like I wanted to play for a coach.
Let's play this.
He did a risk.
The ability to inspire diverse audiences worldwide held special meaning for her. People from various backgrounds united through their love of basketball resonated with her own story of wanting continuous improvement and investing time in the game. Clark hoped to inspire young people in China, both boys and girls, encouraging them to dedicate themselves to reaching their full potential in basketball. Addressing her childhood experience playing in boys' leagues because girls' leagues weren't available, she discussed the current landscape.
For a coach.
Already did a research on it, so I'm gonna do the breakdown and
Okay.
introduction for all of them.
All right, I love it.
没错，所以我做了刚刚的这个广告解析，
It's really hard to watch
以及
this, guys.
NCAA
You know, it was a quick transition coming from college to the professional life, but you kind of figure it out. And I love being here in Indianapolis, and the state of Indiana loves basketball probably more than most places. So I think that's really special. And yeah, I think there's a lot of many exciting years ahead.
So, which aspect
Looking toward the future, Clark emphasized wanting increased opportunities for girls in basketball. She believes the sport is moving in that direction, with more young girls developing love for basketball or other sports and believing in their ability to excel. The foundation begins with the visibility and platform current players enjoy, creating pathways for the next generation. Additional footage showed Clark discussing her shooting performance during a game.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of many exciting years ahead.
So, which aspect of your game do you think has changed the most? Because you already have your arsenals, your passing.
Yeah.
You mentioned the passing a lot.
Yeah.
And everybody knows you have the threes.
Yeah.
So, which part of your game changed the most?
Change the most. Honestly, I think you just have to add a lot to your game when you become a professional, because everybody kind of knows what you're good at. So you kind of have to be better at a lot more things. You have to do different things. So I think that's probably been a learning curve of just trying to get better and better every single.
She described feeling good about early transition shots, particularly enjoying watching the ball go through the net. Making 3 consecutive shots built tremendous confidence. Several clean looks followed in the second quarter, including wide-open opportunities and some challenging shots. Even second-half attempts felt smooth coming off her hand, providing the confidence shooters seek.
Trying to get better and better every single day, and I remember that after my rookie year. Obviously, you don't have much time when you graduate college and you come to the WNBA to really improve and work on your game, because you have a turnaround of a month before you start playing. And I think after my rookie year, that was probably the most exciting thing for me. Is I still feel like I have a lot of room to improve and get better, and that's kind of what I work at every single day.
Caitlin 的现象级表现让更多人知道了女篮，更多
Their interest, they attribute their interest to basketball. Of basketball.
Regarding any rust after time away, Clark dismissed concerns, noting she felt strong despite brief moments of fatigue that required quick substitutions. Her conditioning remained solid thanks to the medical team's efforts in maintaining her fitness through alternative methods when regular practice wasn't possible. The interview sparked considerable discussion online, with many expressing surprise at this unexpected media appearance. The choice of interviewer and the international angle added unique dimensions to Clark's growing global profile.